Am I really the problem here? This is my villain origin story. I wanted to give an update on what's going on with my work. As y'all know, I've been trying to get a raise. And as a first generation child of an immigrant who did not negotiate when I got hired, which is a big mistake. Don't ever do that. I didn't know how hard it would be to actually get a raise in a corporation, especially this one. Recording my process because I just never had to go through this before, and this is like my first time in corporate America. Who knows if I'll even post this, because what if I stay at this job forever? I end up getting that raise, but no, I feel like I don't know if I want to stay. I started applying to other jobs. I don't know if I'll hear back. So it's looking very bleak. It's been a wild ride because I'm like, oh, some more responsibility, but that doesn't reflect my pay. I actually emailed HR, hey girl, can we chat? And she was like, yeah, come through whenever. So I ate lunch, I went to go speak to her. I basically was like, hey, I found out how much my coworker was making, who they fired since. She was like, how much? And then I told her, and then she was like, how much do you make? And I was like, girl, how do you not know this, first of all? But second of all, I told her, and she was like, damn. And I was like, damn, I know. It's insane that this is always in my face as a brown person. Like, being underpaid with a lot of responsibility is crazy. And I've worked jobs where like I was paid a good amount, but the work actually burnt me out because I wasn't passionate about it. Felt like my boss wasn't very supportive, but with this job, I feel very supported, and I feel like lots of pros and cons about this job. I do get benefits. I'm full-time. Hours are very flexible. Work in office like twice a week, which is just enough for me, to be honest. Got very serious, made sure to like leave room for silences because I did not want to people please my way into like comforting her when there was silence. Like, I knew I was standing on business, and I know that she could tell too. And I'm just gonna keep bugging them until it happens, because my 1 year is in March. I messaged her afterwards saying like, hey, this is what we talked about. It was so nice chatting with you and talking about your dog. This is when I know bonuses are coming. I will keep talking to you about my raise. And I just like had it in writing just in case. So yeah, wish me luck, and I will keep y'all updated. Hey y'all, what is next for me in terms of my career? And so I asked y'all to send in questions on my Instagram, and we're gonna be answering those questions today. Also, as you saw in the beginning clip, I clearly did not get a raise. I'm also gonna be doing my makeup, and I'm gonna try to talk at the same time. I did this last time with my eyebrows, and it was chill. I think I like the type of video where I'm like getting ready or doing something and talking. This is my favorite primer right now. I think it's supposed to be mimicking the NYX one. I'll show you the texture. Also, today is gonna be like 90 degrees, so I'm not gonna put it on too much face. For context, I was hired in March 2024 by America's Funniest Home Videos. And yes, it's that America's Funniest Home Videos, like that show. And yes, it still exists, but they needed help with socials. I was interviewing for it when I lived in Long Beach, got the position to be community manager, and there's like 8 pages that I was moderating comments for. It was also a really easy job, which I was very grateful for, and that's why I accepted such shitty pay. But then by September of that year, last year, they gave me the responsibility of digital publisher, which is like publishing and strategizing for YouTube. I was hitting up HR, and that's what that video was. Asked for a raise. I literally went in like every month almost, like to make myself known and be like, hey girl, this is not enough. Like, especially because y'all gave me more responsibility. So I couldn't qualify for food stamps, so I literally explained that to my boss, and at one point he would like Venmo me money. It just speaks to how shitty the company was, because boss should not be giving you, I mean, grateful, but also he Venmo'd me one day because I was like, yeah, I can't come in, like I literally have a headache from being so hungry. You already know that I don't get paid enough. So obviously there's more to that. And there's so much in between that had happened, and I went through so much grief even like this year when it came to this job, and going through the motions of like, should I stay, should I go? I was looking for jobs in between that, like in February. I was applying to jobs, realized how hard the job market was and still is. Very grateful for my community and for people sending me jobs. Obviously I'll talk more about what's next for me. Also, I'm using brow lift. I really like this one because I used to use the NYX one. That would leave like a white flakiness, and this one does not. But also my brows are lighter now, so maybe I just don't see it. How are you so chill about being laid off? Well, this is my first job in LA, and I knew that accepting it with that wage would not be a livable wage, and so I was just figuring out what to do to make that supplemental income. As you've seen in the last vlog, I got laid off. This is my third time getting laid off in like 4 years, and my second time getting laid off in the social media industry. I believe that this is a bigger problem, and it sucks that it is at the cost of like my job, but also it's not something I haven't experienced before, sadly. It's just like your brain being like, oh, this has happened before, and now I know how to navigate this, you know? Externally, it's just happened so often that I'm like, am I really the problem here? What is this telling me about where I should take my talents next? I've been telling this to people. I'm like, did I really want to stay there for that long? Like, I feel like this was just like the final push for me to be like, if I wasn't gonna quit, universe was gonna kick me out. And I heard that a bunch of people got laid off recently too, like not even my industry. So I'm like, okay, they're doing some consolidating or whatever the fuck. I like the people and the job because it taught me a lot, and I had good like mentors who were women, but not the higher ups or the way that the company operated. Like, it sucked. I mean, if you think about a typical corporate job, like that's literally what it was. How do you balance all the cool things you do? Reading lots, self-care, gym, hobbies, etc. And I'm gonna be putting on blush while I talk about this. Honestly, it's because I stopped dating and like started centering myself again. I freaking knew that that was the solution to me having a fruitful life. I was gonna say to having a fruitful life, but I know a lot of people are in relationships and have a fruitful life. If you want to reference my serial monogamist video, then I encourage you to do so, because that was literally how my life was before. TLDR, it's just draining, and I feel like I just need time to like come back to myself again. I haven't done that in years, so this is my way of doing so, and like I'm having a good time. I also hella use the Pomodoro method. Obviously you can update it to like 25 minutes on, 5-minute break, or when I was just getting started and like my journey of learning to lock in is 15 minutes and then 5 minutes off. The way that I imagine it is like when you're focusing, I feel like your brain is like this. When the timer goes off, you could just release. Sometimes I'll be working on my laptop for like 15 to 20 minutes. I look at the timer and I'm like, oh, thank God. Okay, my break isn't 3 minutes. I'm just gonna take my break now and make it like an 8-minute break, because clearly my brain is like not even focusing right now. Like I catch myself on my phone while I'm trying to lock in, and it's like, oh, no wonder, like it's because my timer's almost done. Book that helped me a lot was The 5 Resets, Rewire Your Brain and Body for Less Stress and More Resilience. I highly recommend that book. I listened to it, and it talks about the Pomodoro method and like actual achievable ways to like help with stress, especially as someone who used to be like a really overachieving scholarly girl. I think I put too much blush, and it's gonna be hot, so I think I'm gonna sweat this off anyway. So let's like blend it out aggressively. Yeah, this is too much. I think that helped, right? Mostly replaced scrolling with reading. It's been really hard, but even when I'm on the bus or right before bed, I'm reading. My goal is to read 100 books. I was talking to my reader friends about that, for reading 100 books in a year, and they were like, girl, what the hell? And I was like, I'm gonna try. And it seems, I don't even know if it's doable, because I kind of just set a number and I was like, I'll try. Sorry, didn't mean to hit you. I just said a number and I was like, I guess I'll figure it out. Like, I don't know if it's actually doable. I haven't read this many books in a long time, so we'll see. I just replaced smoking weed and talking to a significant other with reading, and I freaking love it because it's literally like you're in another world and you can like immerse yourself in the book. And I used to read so much as a child. Like I said, coming back home to myself and my hobbies. I've also embedded like self-care, like grooming myself, going to the gym and chores, like just part of my routine. Like, love to automate shit as much as possible, including my routine, because don't want to think too hard about it, you know? Like, I guess an example would be like every other Wednesday, I'm gonna do my laundry because I know it's gonna pile up by then. Every Friday, I do my budget sheet. We love Google Calendar. Let me know if you guys want more detail about how I organize my life. I feel like that is so important. I'm also like an only child, so no one really ever taught me how to do these things. I kind of just like watched and learned. Put in my calendar like rest days. So today I'm doing a lot in the city. Tomorrow is gonna be my rest day, and I know that I'm gonna feel exhausted after today. So I'm like taking it lightly. I just prioritize going to events alone, and that really helps me. It lets my body know that it's okay to prioritize like freedom and feeling safe by myself. So going to events alone and prioritizing freedom and creative expression through gigs. So prioritization in terms of like life things would be like work to pay bills. And I feel like that previous job really sucked the life out of me. People are not wrong when they say that the corporate lifestyle literally sucks the life out of you. When I'm not working, I'm doing self-care, maintaining my body and mind, and then creative gigs and hobbies. Whoa. Look at this fan I got. Feel how hot it's gonna be. Is this sweat or setting spray? Now we're gonna curl my lashes. Mandy said, will this be your villain origin story? Yes, this is my villain origin story. It's because I've learned lessons that I'm like, okay, like let's start over intentionally and look for a job that isn't soul sucking. I also learned that it's okay to like ask for what you want and create boundaries, especially in a corporate setting. This is one of my first big girl corporate jobs, so it was very interesting to see the bureaucracy, hierarchy of it all. Working for the white man is an endless cycle of having to please them and be underappreciated. Not to say that people of color also can't be toxic and thankless and have an endless cycle of grinding. I feel like working in a corporation like AFV like really opened my eyes to like Hollywood and how people like me are treated. And I don't think this is my villain origin story in the way that I think this is the start of like my freelance hustle side gig era again. I was heavily doing that in the pandemic and I was so happy. Like I was selling clothes, doing social media things. I think I was doing an internship back then for social media. Shout out Organized for Love. Everyone should follow them because I used to run their page. I would love to focus on YouTube and just yapping for y'all because this has been so fun and I feel so grateful for everyone's support and encouragement, especially because it's literally just me sitting here talking to my phone, doing this for the sake of creations and creative expressions sake, which now that I think of it, this is what feels so right to me right now. And I feel like the layoff came at such a good time. Obviously I'm still upset and like down bad about it, but I feel like the bounce back will be better. I'm very grateful. Thank you guys for listening and just me being Sir Yappington. So what now? I don't know. Let me know if you guys know anyone looking for social media management, any retail jobs you guys think are a good fit. Yeah, I've already been asking my network and everyone's been so helpful. So feeling very blessed, but also just taking the time to rest. That was a bar. Don't forget to subscribe and comment and leave a like. I really want to know what you guys think of the 9 to 5 versus like freelance side hustle gig vibe. I thank you so much. I'll see you next week. Bye. What is a get ready with me video if I can't even show you guys the final result? Like, that is so silly of me. So if you have any tips for freaking how to handle bangage in the summertime, bro, please let me know. I know I'm gonna be sweating under these bangs.